Good day everyone, Garage King here, and take a listen to this. Wow. Yes, so it sounds like we need some new exhaust in the Honda. Actually, well, it doesn't sound too bad. It kind of sounds like a racing car, but maybe not. Anyway, let's get under the car and see what we find. Now, this is an 8th generation Honda Civic, so that is 2006 to 2012. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what an 8th generation Civic is. Those are the years. And here you can see right there, we are missing something. Yes, we are missing our muffler because what you're looking at in that picture is a resonator. So let's follow to the front of the vehicles, and I don't see any more holes, but what I do see is this flange, and it's looking kind of rusty, so that's fine. We can use a torch, heat it up, get those bolts off. Now, on Civics, if we continue to follow the exhaust right up here, you can see there's this third pipe, and then looking straight up there, you can see that is the catalytic converter, and you pretty much never have to replace the catalytic converter. So what we gotta do is we gotta get these bolts off, and you can see they are square. So the backs, the reason they're square like that is you don't actually put a wrench on them. They're supposed to hold, and then what you do is you put a wrench on the front nut. But as you can see, these nuts obviously are pretty rusted, and if we just put a regular socket, I don't think they would come off, but with a little bit of heat, there you go. So now I'll just do the other two. Now I want to show something. You'll see this nut, it was definitely red hot there. Tap the socket on work, but it's just spinning. Now this happens sometimes. You can see here I'm even repositioning the gun and it just doesn't seem to matter. So give it a little knock there and you can see that one's no good. But we'll come back to that one. And I thought I would have to do something different, but I actually didn't. So two came off, that one didn't. And take a look at this. It just came right off. So I guess when it spins, it gets released from the back, and it was so rusted that, you know, there was no worries. Now looking back underneath, there are 3 hanger points: the rear, in front of the resonator, and the middle.
I actually got it loose, guys. So I'm gonna try to pull it off. There we go. Just like that. Actually, that was easier than I thought. Now we just got these last 2 right here. There, just adjust the camera a little bit. And it should be coming out in just a second. There we go.
And now for the exciting part. You can see there's our 2 new exhaust pieces. Now I found it is best or easiest, or at least I found it the most easy, if I connected the center piece first and then went to the back resonator, connected it just like so. This way it's just hanging there. Now you can see there was the gasket part number. Now all we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of exhaust goop here. And the reason we wanna do that is just to prevent any leaks. I guess I don't think you really have to put it on there, but you know, I chose to do it anyway and it never hurts. So, and I even put a little bit on both sides, and then this way the sealing surface is good and we shouldn't have any issues. Now 2 of the studs were good, so we can just push it together, thread our nuts on just like that to hold it. But obviously, as you can see, we're missing one down below. So I have an old General Motors bolt that's not all rusted up. So that's good, and we will use that one. So we'll just stick it in from the back, just like this, and that'll hold it. And good enough. I mean, that's really all it is. And as far as torque specs for something like exhaust, I don't know if anyone really follows the torque specs. You just tighten it up until it's, you know, nice, good, and snug without obviously reefing on the bolts too much.
It's called a donut. I know, it's funny, but it's called a donut. So anyway, when we put the donut on, we want the flat part of the donut to hit the flat part of the exhaust there. So we're just going to put it on just like so. The nut goes on the end of here. This goes like this, and the spring's kind of in the middle, and it holds it all together. All right, so that's how that goes on. And I should be wearing my gloves now. I know, but it just, you know, guys, you know, sorry. There we go, there's one. And I always replace these things, even if I have the old ones, because usually what happens is the end of the bolt is so corroded out that there's no threads left, so it's just really hard to install the old ones. So I always usually put new ones in if I can. There we go. So what tools did I use to get the job done? Well, I got a 13 and 14 half-inch drive. There's a little bit of an extension there. That was just to get the original bolts off. Some random sockets, I think a 13 and a 15, but that was because of the bolts that I replaced. Your bolts might be different size, maybe just different sizes, and then some ratchets, a little bit of exhaust paste, and really that was it. The one thing I did use, which you probably won't have, was my oxyacetylene, but you can always buy just one of those little butane torches and just heat it up really good. Anyway, that's what I used, and then my impact gun. I did use my half-inch impact gun for that. Anyway, that was it. Pretty easy video. So anyway, that's it. Garage King over and out. Take care.